Evo, nov intervju. Tokrat z Richardom St. Johnom. Richard opisuje kot strokovnjaka za uspeh. Sicer veliko ljudi trdi, da ve, kako uspeti, ne. Ampak pri Richardu je razlika ta, da si je vzel 7 let. Intervjuval 500 uspešnih ljudi in potem te ugotovitve povzel v svoji knjigi 8 skrivnosti do uspeha, o kateri bo več povedal tudi v tem intervjuju. Je tudi govorec, mislim, da je celo najbolj predvajan na TED-u, je lastnik marketinške agencije, ki pobrala že kar precej nagrad. Več o njem pa si lahko prebereš na spodnji povezavi. Za razliko od prejšnjega intervjuja, ki je bil posnet z Nokia N8, je ta posnet z Nokia S7, tako da lahko spet vidiš, kako Nokia znajo snemati HD video v praksi. Pa poglejmo, kaj je Richard povedal.
Well, it certainly opened up a lot of opportunities for success in whole new areas. I worked in research and development on the days before the internet when we were actually trying to develop things like the internet and Nortel networks. So I've seen it come from nothing to something really big. And look at all the opportunities out there. Yeah. There's more opportunities for success in that area that never existed before, especially for young people. The 8 factors that I found lead to success are based on taking the people I interviewed, over 500, and those were the 8 factors that more people said helped them succeed than anything else. So there's a lot of sub-factors under those, like I call them secondary factors. But if you don't love what you do, you gotta love what you do, you gotta work really hard, you gotta focus on one thing, not everything, you gotta keep pushing yourself, you've gotta come up with good ideas, you've got to keep improving yourself and what you do. You've got to serve others something of value, because success isn't just about me. And you've got to persist, because there's no such thing as overnight success. It takes 10 years to succeed at anything. It took the Google founders 10 years to come up with the Google search engine and make it a success. It took Einstein 10 years to come up with E equals MC squared. 10 years to come up with the BlackBerry. So you have to think 10 years. And when you're young, I know you don't want to. But these are the top 8 things that lead to success. And then under those, there's a whole lot of other factors that are sub-factors. So there's the top 8 in the middle. And then you build other skills on top, like people skills, networking skills, technical skills, computer skills, whatever you need. But you got to have these 8 at your core. No matter what other skills you build on top.
So basically you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, the trick is you got to be good at something. You got to become an expert at something. Successful people aren't great at everything, they're only great at one thing. So find something you love to do and you're willing to work hard at it, and then get really, really good at it. I mean, you don't find anybody who reaches great success without being really good at what they do. Luck doesn't play a big part in it. We have no control over good luck or bad luck, but I found many successful people actually achieved their big success because of bad luck. Something happened to them that turned them around, and they were down, and they pulled themselves up and then went on to achieve great success. I mean, look at Lance Armstrong. He got cancer. That's the worst luck he can get, but he's still 7-time world champion after the cancer. So bad luck is something you have no control over, so don't spend 2 minutes thinking about it. Just don't ever think successful people got that way because of luck. They didn't. They got that way because they worked really hard, because they love what they do, and they do those other 8 factors. So just wipe luck out of your mind, because you can't do anything about luck. If you're making something that's not going anywhere, a lot of the times it's just because you haven't gotten to that little extra point where it turns around. It's like in a ball game or whatever, where the team sort of gives up halfway through or whatever, and if they just hung in there and pushed harder for the last inning, they would have won. And a lot of people tell me that. They say, I thought I was never going to make it, and then suddenly it turned around, something turned around, and it did okay. So the trick is that's a tough call, though, is when to say I've had enough. But don't give up totally. just shift positions and, climb over the fences that are a problem. No, there's no shortcuts. There's no lazy man's guide. I haven't met a lazy, successful person yet. Now, I shouldn't say that. They may be lazy at some things. We're all lazy at some things, right? Like I'm lazy at loading the dishwasher. But the thing I love to do, which is my work, I'm not lazy there. I'll be up all night, many nights, working because I just love it so much. But I'm lazy at doing things like mowing the lawn. I'm lazy at things that don't interest me. So the trick is find something you're interested in, because then you're not lazy. I think deadlines are good. I have them under the category of push, things we could use to push us. And a deadline's a great thing to push you. So I think deadlines are great. And the thing is, I hate deadlines. Like whenever I get one, I bitch and complain about it. Oh, shit, a deadline, another deadline. But if I look back, all my best ideas and my biggest projects have been most successful under tight deadlines. I don't procrastinate at all if it's something I like to do. I procrastinate the stuff I don't like to do all the time. But Nathan Myhrvold, Bill Gates' chief technology officer at Microsoft, said to me, he's the same way. He said, the trick is, if you're going to procrastinate, don't do it on the important things, though. Do it on the stuff that really doesn't matter. Like I procrastinate, cleaning up my office. My office is a mess. It just doesn't matter. Like it's a low priority. But I don't procrastinate. Well, again, get a deadline, and then you won't procrastinate. I always say I'm not a motivational speaker. I couldn't pass the height requirement. All these motivational speakers are like giants. I'm too short. So I'm not a motivational speaker. And I always say I couldn't motivate anybody. My employees actually call me a demotivational speaker. I figure I'm more of an informational speaker. I went out and found out some information about success, and there's not so much me. It's all the people I quote in the book, right? I mean, I'm just a messenger. I went out and interviewed all these incredibly successful people and asked them what helped them succeed. So I'm just passing on the information. I'm not trying to motivate you. All I'm saying is, here's what I found. It's as simple as that. It's up to you whether you want to do anything with it or not. See, balance is the opposite of what we do in our career. So most of my career is sitting in a chair at a desk on my computer, or sitting in Starbucks on my computer. So to me, I got into running because for a number of reasons. One was my wife was running and I just wanted to keep up with her. Another was I wanted to eat more food because I love to eat. So by running, I could eat the food and not gain any weight. And the third reason was, and this was a long time ago, is I read an article that chief executive officers of a lot of corporations were runners. So I thought, these are very successful people. If they're doing it, maybe it's a good thing to do. So those were the three reasons I got into running. But I discovered pretty quickly that I had a real passion for it. I just love running. But see, I use it, for instance, here in Ljubljana. It's a way for me to see the city. My wife and I run around the cities and see the sights that way. We've run on all marathons on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. Run over 50 marathons, and it's a great way to see the world too. And the thing is, it's that when I've been working for 18 hours and I need a break, put on the running shoes, out the door. I don't have to plan. I like running because there's no planning required. Just put on your shoes and go whenever you need to, and you feel great. The thing is, I never run early in the morning. I run at noon or at night because running is great for releasing the pressure and stress from the day. The worst thing could happen, you talk about persistence. I could have like a dismal failure at work. If I go for a run and come back, I feel great. So it's sort of like a psychiatrist for me, but cheaper. I'm not a big goal setter, actually. I never knew where I was going in life. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next year. I set very short-term goals, so I'm going to run a marathon in May. So there's a short-term goal, and that pushes me. So I'm training now for the short-term goal of doing a good time in May. But Yeah, I never run my fastest times when I'm alone at the track. It's only when you have a competitor hot on your heels. So competition is a good way to push yourself too. Deadlines, competition, goals, use whatever works for you. There's nothing complex about success, but some people try and make it complex. But I studied this stuff for 10 years and talked to some of the world's top scientists, top everything, and none of them made success sound complex. So I just trying to simplify it.
Thank you.
Thank you.